Hey, howdy, and welcome to Clemhawks, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and good night, hopefully, for Game 7 between the New York Rangers and the Carolina Hurricanes here tonight on Clemhawks. It's my pleasure to have you along regularly over on Dolany TV. However, well, guess what? We're here supporting our man Clem this afternoon, this evening, wherever you're tuning in from. Heck, it might be tomorrow already if you're tuning into this game here between the Rangers and Carolina Hurricanes for Game 7. However, my man Clem, after yesterday's success, wants me back here live streaming Game 7 for him between the Hurricanes and Rangers. And like I said, it's my pleasure to have it for you. And we'll have coverage of the Colorado Avalanche Edmonton Oilers series over on Dolany TV starting tomorrow. And that will be a pleasure of mine to have you along for as well if you so choose to join me. So, obviously, number one, folks, this is the goalie duel of the playoffs so far. Antti Ranta and Igor Shesterkin, the two goalies that have just gone out there and been absolutely incredible for both teams in this series, and we look to see who will win that battle tonight because it is a big test of wills in Game 7, as it always is. Adam Fox leading the way with 16 points for the New York Rangers. Teuvo Teravainen with 11 points for the Carolina Hurricanes, leading things off. Mika Zibanejad in the goal department, 7 goals so far in the playoffs, 5 for Vincent Trocheck. Those are your goal leaders for both clubs so far in the playoffs. The assists going Adam Fox and Tony DeAngelo, 12 and 8 respectively. And then, of course, the goalies that have gotten the job done so far. 7 wins for Igor Shesterkin, Antti Ranta with 6. And one of these teams looking to have their goalie pick up one more win this game. One more win, that's all you need. This series so far, matchup history going like such. Back on the 20th of May when this series kicked off, it was 2-0. Alright, I think we might even be missing a game in there. Yeah, we've only got 5 games in there. So going back to game 2, 2-0 for the Hurricanes. They clearly won game number 1 as well. 3-1 for the Rangers following up in game 3. 4-1 for the Rangers in game 5. 3-1 Carolina, and then 5-2 for the Rangers, which is what they were playing on Sportsnet before this game gets underway. Right now, there's really no major injuries to each team, considering how Antti Ranta's playing. Frederik Andersen, a day-to-day starter, and Jake Gardner out of the lineup for Carolina. Leafs fans would have something to say there, I'm sure. Sammy Blais, the lone player of matter that is out for the New York Rangers. So, my friends, that is what we need to know to get ourselves set for this game. Secondary to that, it is going to be one heck of a Game 7 between these two teams because, this has been the series out of the couple of them in the Western Conference and Eastern Conference that have gone the distance to 7. And tonight we get to celebrate it and see what happens. And as a greedy YouTuber myself, I may say let's go to overtime because the guy could use that watch time for my man Clem to try and get him back monetized here on YouTube. So that's where we find ourselves currently waiting for this game to get underway. It's about 5:40 tomorrow. The game between the Avalanche and Oilers begins at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, the same as today's start. So 7 Central, 8 Eastern, wherever you may be tuning in from. At least get your regionality so as we understand where we're waiting for and where we're coming from for the times. That game tomorrow will be streamed on Dolany TV, so please feel free to join me over there tomorrow. It would be my great pleasure to have you along for that one, that is for sure. So, that's the New York Rangers series as we know, and of course we'll go preview the Oilers series here as we get things underway. Why not? Right now it's a battle of offense in the playoffs for both teams, right? Leon Draisaitl, 26 points, the best points per game average in an NHL playoff series in the history of the NHL. Nathan MacKinnon coming in with half the points, 13 of Leon Draisaitl's 26 to lead his team. MacKinnon 8 goals, Kane's got 12. Leon Draisaitl's got 19 assists, Makar's got 10, and Mike Smith, the big number there, he's got 8 wins in the series, or in the 2 series, and of course Darcy Kemper, who missed a couple of games or parts of a couple of games and only has 6 wins, but he has been the goaltender of record for the Colorado Avalanche so far. So my friends, we're still waiting for this one to get underway. We'll be waiting a long time, so settle in, get comfy, go use your bathroom breaks, whatever you need to do right now. Now is the time to get it done. We're still currently just waiting for this NHL in 30 to finish up, but it is an interesting matchup between the Colorado Avalanche and the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers crushed them 6-3 at the end of the season on April 22nd, but then it was two other very close losses between the Avalanche and Oilers, 2-1 and 3-2 for the Avalanche in the span starting March 31st and April 9th. So right now for the Oilers, there's really not much left on the injury report. Thankfully, everybody is healthy other than who's got nicks and bruises from the playoffs. Big loss for Colorado. Girard is out and he is done for the season, and then they've got Ryan Murray out as well, so we'll see what happens with him. He's listed as day-to-day on Sportsnet. I'm not sure what that means. Currently, I'm not that well educated on what's going on with Ryan Murray on the Colorado Avalanche as it currently sits. But this series is going to be one that wraps up tonight between the Hurricanes and Rangers. A big game here to try and get things done. And of course, it's going to be a matter of who comes out of this one. Will face Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, I guess we could go review how their series went against the Florida Panthers. It was convincing. It was game over for the Florida Panthers as soon as the series began. Essentially, Tampa Bay walked in there and demolished Florida. Laugher of a series. 4-1 in game 1, 2-1 in game 2, the tightest game of the series. 5-2 or 5-1 for Tampa in game 3, and then took it and brought it to an end in game 4 with a 2-0 shutout. Absolutely fantastic, and they will go on to face whoever wins this series here tonight on Clemhawks. So stay tuned for that. Round 3 is the Lightning versus whoever, and round number, of course, 3. So they still don't have the Oilers Colorado series tied up. That's fine. That's whatever it is. We're not going to worry too much about that, but we're currently waiting for this game to get underway so we can get things rolling here in this game 7. And of course, if it's anything like that Dallas Calgary game 7 that we streamed earlier on Clemhawks, I would love to see that all over again. I wish I would have stayed home and streamed that whole one here, because my goodness, what a magical game that would have been to stream. It was fantastic going into overtime, and just the beauty of it, ladies and gentlemen. That one was a grinded out gut fest from both goaltenders, and finally Johnny Gaudreau broke through and got the job done, and it was a fantastic effort there by the Flames to go and get this one done. And unfortunately then they fell in 5 games to the Edmonton Oilers, which isn't necessarily the worst thing as an Oilers fan myself, as you see behind me. However, end of the day, it's not a bad thing at all to at least get to the second round of the playoffs if you're the Calgary Flames. So we're sitting here waiting for this game to get underway, as mentioned. I'm Yak, guest hosting another hockey live stream here on Clemhawks this evening for you. And right now we're just about midway through this hockey game replay on Sportsnet, so we'll be live in a few moments time. 5:45, top of the clock. We should be flipping over to Hockey Central coverage, and then we should be rocking, we should be rolling, and we should be on our way for what will be game 7 between the Rangers and Hurricanes. Hoping you guys are all having a great night. If you're out on the East Coast, you've waited all day for it, and it's almost here. And now if you're in Canada or sorry, hold on, cut me some slack here. I can't even talk. My apologies. If you're in the West Coast or somewhere else over on central US, whatever you want to say, I'm hoping you're having a great night as well and just settling in for what will be a good hockey game here tonight between these two teams. Anywhere you're tuning in from, I don't really care. I hope you're settling in and getting ready for an exciting night of hockey, because I promise you this is going to be one to remember. Of course, every game 7 is, whether a fan base wants to admit it or not, every game 7 is special, and sometimes you don't get the result you want, but hopefully tonight both teams do, and both teams can leave heads held high. One team tried their best and the other team is advancing on to the Stanley Cup playoffs third round. Hopefully that's the way it ends up going. I don't know if that's going to be the ledger for tonight, but you just don't know until you get there, and that's half the fun of getting there tonight, is finding out how this game will go and see how it finishes up between the Rangers and Hurricanes. Last game, like I said, was a little bit more of a slugfest than we've been used to in this series compared to offense numbers, right? It was a 5-2 game, whereas I don't think there's been more than 5 goals scored in the entire series in a game prior to game 6. So we'll see what happens here in game number 7. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Yak, and this is Clemhawks. My man Clem, normally covering the Minnesota Twins, normally covering NASCAR, but this evening and the past couple of evenings we've been trying to do some hockey stuff to try and get him back on the road to monetization here on YouTube. So I appreciate everyone being along for the ride and helping a man out and trying to get a guy back into the good books with YouTube. So appreciate y'all being along with us for this evening of hockey. Other than that, if you've missed the pregame recap, it is Game 7. Simply put, we don't have to worry about anything that's happened. You just have to watch what happens tonight, because both teams have a chance, equal chance entering the night to advance to Game number 1 of the Western or Eastern Conference Finals to face the Tampa Bay Lightning. Of course, tomorrow over on Dollar TV, we'll have Colorado versus Edmonton. That's what the set normally is. I had Clem do some graphic design work there to get Clemhawks up on the banner so as it feels more like home for him when he's watching on his phone late tonight, rewatching the stream or watching the stream whenever he tunes in or out as the night may go. But ladies and gentlemen, if you missed the live stream yesterday, we had an absolute blast of a time live streaming the Canada versus Finland gold game in the IIHF World Hockey Championships, and it was an amazing time. Finland showed up in the comments, and it was a fantastic time to kind of see how things went in that game. Canada obviously losing the game, but however, it doesn't much matter. Finland got the job done. That's good for them, and big thing for Canada is that we've still got a team in the Stanley Cup playoffs as it currently sits, that being the Edmonton Oilers, waiting for this game to get going tomorrow at 6 p.m. Mountain. But tonight, the big thing is just simply getting through the hardest part of sports, Game 7 in the NHL playoffs, and we'll see what happens here tonight between the Rangers and Carolina Hurricanes. So again, I'm Yak. Great to have you along. Other than that, there's really not much left to say at this point. We've kind of been out here demolishing things here early on the pregame. Not often I'm out here actually crushing a pregame, but I guess we are. And the game preview is the Carolina Hurricanes would have rather avoided another Game 7, but at least they'll be back in their comfort zone. The Hurricanes will try to stay unbeaten at PNC Arena this postseason when they face the New York Rangers in the deciding Game 7 of their Eastern Conference semifinal on Monday night in Raleigh, North Carolina. Carolina is 7-0 through the first 2 rounds of the Stanley Cup playoffs compared to an 0-6 on the road. So this, I guess I said equal chance. This does favor Carolina a little bit. There's some quotes in here from Brady Shea. There's some quotes in here from other folks. But the Rangers already have survived an elimination game on the road in this postseason, beating the Pittsburgh Penguins 5-3 in Game 6 of their first round series before advancing with a 4-3 OT win that was hotly contested in Game number 7. The Rangers increasingly appear to have the advantage in goal. Igor Shesterkin has allowed 2 goals or fewer in 5 of the 6 games in the series. He may have delivered his best stretch of the playoffs in the first period of Game 6, making several difficult saves while New York was building a 2-0 lead. That obviously leading to the 1-0 goal from Tyler Mott early in that hockey game a couple of days ago. So it sounds like Antti Raanta will start Game 7 for the Hurricanes. Raanta was pulled after allowing 3 goals on 13 shots in Game 6 on Saturday, and Ranta's durability could be a factor. He made 12 starts in the postseason after making 26 during the regular season as the primary backup to Freddie Anderson, who has not appeared in the playoffs because of a lower body injury. However, the big success is due to Raanta at home. owning a 6-0 record with a .97 goals against average and a .965 save percentage. He's been absolutely stellar for the Carolina Hurricanes in these playoffs, at least at home, as much as you can say about a goaltender at home. So, folks, again, welcome in as everyone's just kind of trickling in here as the stream starts firing up. It's my pleasure to have you along. Like I said, we're just waiting for the game to get underway. We're about 9 minutes away from top of the clock. I'll take a minute break here at 5:55 to go grab a drink, a cup of water, a pop, and we'll get this hockey game up and underway. Top of the clock once we switch over to Hockey Central and we start getting the other headlines we need to be aware of. Of course, Gerard Gallant, the big factor for the New York Rangers, I think one could argue so far, as he's been a big factor in this playoffs. Just the experience he has getting his teams to the playoffs and how they seem to work for him in the playoffs. And the New York Rangers going in very well so far, going into Game 7 against the Carolina Hurricanes. And it's been a beautiful playoffs, right? The Oilers in there, the Avalanche in there, and there's two teams looking to be one of the final four teams. Only one can remain after tonight, and both teams looking to be a top four team in the NHL for this season. The Oilers punched their ticket against the Flames. The Colorado Avalanche punched their ticket against the St. Louis Blues, and the Tampa Bay Lightning punched their ticket against the Florida Panthers. Who does who tonight, a punching of a ticket? It will remain to be seen here in Game 7 between the Rangers and Hurricanes. I don't even have a pick because I frankly don't care. I would love to see the Rangers against the Oilers in the Cup final. I'd love to see the Rangers make it and just put it in a good series against Tampa. I'd love to see the Hurricanes in the Cup final against the Oilers. Run it back. The last time the Rangers made it to the Cup final, or the Hurricanes made it to the Cup final, they won it against the Oilers. The last time the Oilers made it to the Cup final, they lost it to the Hurricanes. So dang rights if I ain't having a good time seeing Carolina, Edmonton back in the playoffs in the prime of my life, right? I was in the prime of my childhood when it was the Oilers and Hurricanes in Game 7 back in 2006, and oh man, prime of my 20s. Let's go. If you're not kidding me, that wouldn't be a good time. So that's where we currently sit. That's the news. That's what you need to know about this series, is the fact that there's a lot to like. And there's a lot of good outcomes depending on who wins this one, right? Obviously, the Rangers against the Oilers, both teams looking for their last cup since Mark Messier won one for them. That would be a big, major headline. Tampa and the Oilers would be a good series. And, right, there's too many great outcomes. Colorado and Rangers, Colorado and Tampa, whatever you want to say, Colorado and the Hurricanes, there are a lot of good outcomes where everybody in the NHL world is winning at hockey. And the biggest thing right now is we get Nate McKinnon and Connor McDavid head-to-head in a chance to go to the Stanley Cup final in the NHL playoffs, and that's fantastic enough to see. So it's a pretty winning time if you're an NHL hockey fan, that is for sure. But other than that, what else do we have to say? Again, I can sit here and talk all day, but I need to find some useful topics to talk about, and right now there just don't seem to be too many, but we'll find them as we go along. All right, 5:54, cup of water, bathroom break, and a Pepsi on the way. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Yak. I will be right back in just a matter of moments. All right, let's get this going. We are now 5:56, ready for this game to get underway in a matter of moments. No time at all left until this game flips over to live coverage here on Clemhawks and we start getting some play-by-play from yours truly and get this game underway. My apologies for taking the break, but a guy's got to grab some water, right? Grab some water, grab a Pepsi, and away we go with ourselves a hockey game this evening. What will be a magical one, hopefully. Hopefully, that's what we're hoping for anyway, is a good hockey game that means something for everybody involved. And then, of course, a solid finish as well that delivers us the result we are looking for. Well, Stanley Cup semifinalist, an Eastern Conference finalist for the year 2022. Either be the Carolina Hurricanes or New York Rangers. The winner of Game 7 between these two teams will be who goes on to face the Tampa Bay Lightning. We're looking forward to that. And that series, we should have some live streams here on Clemhawks. I believe we'll have the Wednesday night game for you here on Clemhawks, and then we'll rock into probably Friday night. I think I'm free Friday night. I think I could stream Friday night, and then we'll see what happens the rest of the way home. But it is Game 1 on June 1st, so that's 6 p.m. on Wednesday, and then 6 p.m. on Friday, and then away we go. So thankfully, I think ball is covered for that span of time, and away we go with some live streams here on Clemhawks to get our man Clem back in the good books with YouTube and hopefully get him remonetized like he used to be back in the day. But I'm sorry, folks, I'm dying for a drink of Pepsi. Been dying all day for a pop. I know it's not good for you, but sometimes you just got to get it in you, quite honestly. So that's what you need to know. We will be live at some point throughout the next round series in the Eastern Conference Final, and other than that, we are live over on Dolany TV. I will be hosting my own show back on Dolany TV for the Oilers and Colorado Avalanche series beginning tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So, what else do I have to tell you? Again, guys, if you didn't get a chance, the link is in the comments to go check out yesterday's stream between Canada and Finland, the IIHF World Championships. That was a phenomenal game. One of, if not the best World Championship games I have watched in a dang long time, quite honestly. But at the same rate, I should probably introduce you to the man, the myth, the legend, Clem himself. Because you're probably wondering what the heck, why I'm talking about some other guy running the channel, and here I am broadcasting live on his channel for him. But what I'll show you here is Clem did a video today that I need you to go check out. Clem had himself a game review between the Twins and team whoever they were playing. Clem's review of Clem's review. I'll just put that in the comments and away you go. Yes, Clem was reviewing the Twins game today. If you're from the US, you would obviously be familiar with the Minnesota Twins, I'm sure. And of course, he is quite the Minnesota Twins fan, the Midwest sports fan in general. And of course, if you're looking for a guy that knows baseball inside out, Clem is your man. And I hope you have the time to check out his videos throughout the night as you're sitting here on Clemhawks listening to my sorry butt for an excuse of a broadcaster talk to you about hockey. All right. Anyway, let's get to it. The game is just flipped over on Sportsnet to going live, and away we are set to go for Game 7 between the Rangers and Carolina Hurricanes here on Clemhawks, and it's been a heck of a series. As I said, it's been one of, if not the best series in the postseason that nobody in Canada is paying attention to because, well, we've had the Battle of Alberta, we've had two Alberta teams and the Toronto Maple Leafs in playoff series in the first round, and now all of a sudden, all the drama, everything is led down to the final game of the second round, Game 7, between the Carolina Hurricanes and New York Rangers this evening. And I am just glad I'm going to be able to be a part of your experience tonight with you. Because, hey, if I can make some memories for myself while you guys make some memories with me, hey, I don't mind that at all. It's always a good time here live streaming hockey on YouTube. Let me tell you, I've been doing this trick since 2017. It's been a long time going on YouTube live streaming hockey games all the way back to the Oilers' first and second round series against the Sharks and Ducks way back when. And here we are, all the way in the year 2022, live streaming the New York Rangers and Carolina Hurricanes here live on Clemhawks for you this evening. So, what else do I have to tell you? Make sure, if you're at all impressed with everything and you want to check out more Clem stuff because you're maybe a baseball fan yourself, make sure to hit that subscribe button and check out Clem's stuff throughout the evening. That's really all I can do. I got a little self-promotion for the man allowing me to live stream on his channel so as I'm not gunging up dull on the TV to a degree. And other than that, make sure, if you're thinking about leaving the computer and thinking about shutting off the stream, just leave it buck. Let it buck, turn off the sound, let it go, and just support a channel that I can definitely tell you needs your support. Clem's trying to figure out the next steps in life, and a little bit of YouTube side hustle money would not be the worst case scenario if the man could get back to 4,000 watch hours. So there we go. You ready? It's Game 7, Carolina and the New York Rangers. We'll have the Sportsnet Hockey Night in Canada intro, and then away we'll go with pregame coverage and whatever else we don't know about this game so far that we couldn't read online to save ourselves. And it's 6:02 now, currently flip of the clock, and away we go kind of deal as we're waiting for this hockey game still to get underway. Hopefully it's not the late puck drop like it was in Edmonton versus Calgary the whole way through that series, because that, my friends, was absolutely brutal. But we'll manage. We'll get through it. We'll be okay. It'll be what it'll be, I am sure. So here we go. The Carolina Hurricanes, the New York Rangers, everybody cheering. A lot of hardcore fans down there in Carolina, that is for sure. They take their hockey seriously in a place that never was really serious about hockey until they won a cup. We'll see what the New York Rangers can bring. There's a big old tailgate, lots of food being cooked up in Carolina. Man, that bowl of vegetables looks really good. And we've got a lesser panel for this game. Ron McLean, Jesse Bourne, and Elliot Friedman live here on Sportsnet right now talking to us about this pregame between these two teams. They'll save the big boy panel for tomorrow, Colorado and Edmonton. It will be one heck of a matchup tomorrow. But first, you got to get to the goalie matchup that is Shesterkin and Ronta this series. Shesterkin 168 goals against average, just phenomenal performances out of him all series long. Of course, the one that was good enough to get the job done in Game 6, 2 goals against 39 shots, and some absolutely dangerous looking opportunities against him, that is for sure. And then what else do you got? You got the opportunity for Carolina, Antti Ranta, who got pulled last game, a chance to rebound and get back into the lineup and try and do something. He's had a 9.7 goals against average at home this series, this playoffs, and a 965 save percentage. So you got the goalie that he gets the home crowd, and he is feeding against opponents in the home crowd. So hopefully that bodes well for the Carolina Hurricanes tonight, and hopefully gets them where they need to go, as they are in tough against the New York Rangers tonight. And same for the Rangers, who are in tough against the Hurricanes. You can say it both ways in this series, because it is both ways in this series, I promise you that much. And home ice in the series, the top line of Carolina versus New York have absolutely owned the New York Rangers have the Carolina Hurricanes top line, and that's good to see. I don't know if that's the checking line, I don't know what that is, but that looks like a top line for the New York Rangers, so we'll go with it. For the Carolina Hurricanes, sorry. I'm not too familiar with the Hurricanes this season. I know Jordan Stahl's there, and that's about all I know about him. As I guess there's ridiculous home splits all the way across the board for the Hurricanes and Rangers in this series, and that's whatever. Hey, you know what? Home ice advantage? That's a credit to the fans and what they're able to achieve by making noise in the stands and being the boisterous fans that every team wishes they could have in the playoffs. So that's huge for both teams. But right now we're about ready to get this hockey game underway. NHL on ESPN East, second round, Game 7 between the Hurricanes and Rangers, about to start in a moment's time here. And we will get this one underway in no time flat. But here we go. What do we got? We got some kind of hockey commercial here. They want it for their home country. Yeah, they do. Colorado, what do they want it for? They want it for their home city. All right, all right. They just won it, eh? Alright. Stanley Cup coming back to Canada hopefully this year. That's what I'd be saying. Hopefully Canada can bring it back to the country after an absence since what, 1993, since we last had a Stanley Cup north of the border, and hopefully the Oilers are the team to deliver that. Trust me, if they are, oh my goodness, that is a moment to be proud of as an Oilers fan, let me tell you. But we'll see what happens. It's a long ways to go yet, and we'll have to wait and see, as it's going to be a long time before the Stanley Cup final is decided. Tonight we're closing out the second round. The Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Rangers trying to finish this series up in Game 7 this evening. Hopefully we find ourselves a winner in regulation. I don't know how late I feel like staying up tonight, but even if we have to go to overtime, I don't really care. Not the worst case scenario. It's a game that starts at 6. This game will be over by 9. We got a full free hour of hockey I can live stream before having to get to bed and go to work, right? That's the nice part about that. That is for sure. So 158 divided by 60. Oh, there we go. Decent little watch time so far. 42 minutes chipped in, so 0.7 of an hour. Clem's got nothing to yell at me about yet. And let's go. Oh, Cam Ward. Not Cam Ward. Getting this going. The Hurricane siren. As everybody getting ready. Ray Ferraro and Sean McDonough will call this hockey game. Ray Ferraro looking ready as ever to call a playoff game. 68 career playoff games in his NHL career. A guy, a veteran that's been around the league a long time, called a lot of games, and was a fantastic player back in his day as well. So here we go. We are set as the 22nd Game 7, where home team has won each of first 6 games. Really, that's interesting. Home team 11 and 10 in Game 7. So they do all that work. They win all 6 of their previous home games and then absolutely crap the bed. 50-50 chance in Game 7 to close out the series. That is a ridiculous stat, and I love that they brought that up because that is phenomenal to give us even more hope. Teams that score first in Game 7 have a 75% winning percentage. And yeah, Oilers did that in game number 7 against the LA Kings, and obviously that's 75% of the time on the coin flip you're going to win that series. That's not a bad situation at all. And Carolina, they've got some guys that have been around the league for a long time, been there, done that around the NHL, and now they get a chance to do it with the Carolina Hurricanes. Igor Shesterkin, the upstart rookie, looking to come in and clutch this one up. Game 7 against the Penguins. Good enough effort. 3 goals against, but enough to get the job done and carry his team on to the second round. Antti Raanta, 29 shots, 27 saves. Game 7 against the Bruins. And let me tell you, if you're watching from anywhere in the States and you are a hockey fan, it was so good to watch the Boston Bruins lose that series against the Carolina Hurricanes. Not that I'm a Hurricanes fan, but screw the Bruins. That's about all I can say on that one. There's a guy trying to shuffle to his seat. There's a couple of people with some Hartford Whalers paraphernalia, and we are ready for the national anthem and ready to get this one up and underway as soon as the anthem concludes, because this is going to be one heck of a Game 7. And here we go. They are presenting tonight's colors, and away we'll go with the national anthem. I don't even know who the national anthem singer is for the Carolina Hurricanes. Ooh. Okay, some guy in a Carolina Hurricanes uniform. All right, Adam Lee Decker. Never heard of the guy. Somebody wants to give a guy a clue who he is. That'd be great. Is he just an anthem singer for the Carolina Hurricanes, or is there more to his story? Who knows? However, he's going to sing a great anthem for us tonight and get this underway. Clem, hope he does you proud. As Antti Raanta in net for the Carolina Hurricanes, Igor Shesterkin in net for the New York Rangers. And my friends, we are just moments away now as this Game 7 will light us up and get things going. Rod Brendamore behind the bench, Gerard Gallant behind the bench for the New York Rangers. We'll see which coach outcoaches which coach as this game progresses, and who will get the job done early and who will get the job done late to win this Game 7. We'll see what happens here as this anthem is starting to drag out a little bit. Looks like the guys are ready to go on the benches and on the ice. Oh yeah, we are in for a treat. Game 7, as I mentioned earlier, is always a treat in the NHL, and hopefully again tonight it delivers yet another classic between these two teams. The Rangers and Hurricanes looking to decide who will go on to face the Tampa Bay Lightning in round number 3. The Rangers on the bench, and here we go. This is it, this is all, and we'll see the anthem come to a conclusion here. Take a breath. We are ready for some hockey. Let's go. Carolina and everybody getting pumped. There are a lot of folks in red. I think there's something about Carolina doesn't let guys from out of town buy tickets or something. That's an interesting goal. I don't know how that one works, but good that they can fill their own building. Hey, not a bad problem at all. They got some Daktronics equipment behind the net, behind Shesterkin. Very familiar with Daktronics equipment from my time up in Cold Lake doing broadcasting way back when. And Igor Shesterkin, a 7-5 record in the playoffs, 9 some odd save percentage, and for Antti Ranta, a 220 goals against average and a 924 save percentage. So here we go. This hockey game ready to rip here. As everybody waving the towels, and away we shall go. Players draw in for the face-off. Martinook ready to take it for the Hurricanes, and it'll be Tyler Mott looking to take this face-off for the, it will be Gaudreau taking the face-off for the New York Rangers, and it is the Hurricanes that win it. They're in their own zone with control. They'll fire it up the boards and dump this one in off a tip pass, and Shesterkin out to play it quickly up the boards to a Rangers stick. Couple of bobbles and a couple of plays by the Hurricanes at the blue line of the Rangers keeps it, and they are alive and well in the Rangers zone before it's brought back to the blue line, where the Rangers will see it dumped down deep for the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes back to the point. Possession there at the far side point, bobbled off a stick, but maintains for the Hurricanes down low in the far side corner, back to the blue line, outside of the zone now off the stick of D'Angelo. It'll be flipped back through the neutral quick as the Rangers change shot. First one of the game blocked by the Rangers. 19:14 to go here in this first period as the puck goes around the boards, and this one will be possessed by the Hurricanes. Point shot comes through and hits Shesterkin in the pads, and then on the rebound off the near side wall, he swallows it up with the chest and the glove, and that's his first couple of saves of this hockey game as things are getting underway here in Carolina now. 19:04 to go in this first period. Brady Shea out there now, and look at that shot from the point, a perfect rim and just a perfect kick save from Shesterkin, who then gets into position for the rebound as the Hurricanes win the ensuing face-off to the far side point and back around to the near side wall. Both teams look for possession and will try to grind into finding the puck. It'll be chipped out into the middle of the ice and all the way down after a couple of tips off a couple players. Aho will leave it there, and the Hurricanes will move it out of their own zone. The Canes now full flight across the Rangers blue line. Shot yet again blocked off a foot of the Rangers. Looks like it's going to be the Hurricanes' key to success is just shoot the puck early and often and as much as they possibly can to try and solve Shesterkin, who's been stellar. This one a turnover for the Hurricanes, who see it go all the way to the point. A penalty upcoming. A chance here. Another puck bounces, and there will be a penalty on the play. A hooking call coming up against the Canes for what is a first power play for the New York Rangers early in this hockey game on that scramble turnover from the Canes within their own zone. Aho will take the penalty for hooking. As it was just a disastrous chance, and then a chance for Kopp to reach it on the backhand, but Aho hooks him down and holds him back. So now it's a New York Rangers power play for the next 2 minutes as it's Fox at the blue line controlling. He leads the team in points in this playoff run so far. Panarin looking to do something in game 7 that'll give his team the wherewithal and the fans the wherewithal to appreciate that contract he's under, as Fox back at the point fires the shot, goes wide of the net all the way from the blue line. Panarin will rim around the boards. That's to the free man, Zibanejad, who will go back to Fox, but it's poked away. And now the Canes have a partial break if they can get to the puck, and they do. Trocheck enough to deny the opportunity for the Rangers to get a clean zone exit on his hard forecheck up the ice on the penalty kill, and now the Rangers regroup with a minute 17 to go in this first period. The Rangers keep it in after a failed attempt on a clear. That one goes up and out of play off of the body or stick of Antti Raanta, and up and out of play it will be with a minute 09 to go in this Rangers power play. 2-0 in Game 7s is Rod Brind'Amour as head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes. So keep that in mind, him and his fancy tie for this Game 7. The Hurricanes will draw in to the right of Raanta to take this face off to try and kill some more time off the penalty clock, as it'll be worked to face off drop, and now one, and Pesce will slide it down the ice and clear it all the way back onto Shesterkin, who will glove it down and leave it there for his defenseman. Oncoming penalty kill in the playoffs, 68% on the road, 90% at home for the Carolina Hurricanes, who see this power play come for the Rangers on home ice. So this one on the near side wall in the Carolina zone. It'll be chipped ahead and out and back onto a Rangers stick, who have 40 seconds as they exit their own zone on this power play left. It'll be fired off the end boards and around, and it'll be chopped there yet again, and now the Rangers come up with it after the turnover by the Carolina Hurricanes on the dump-in attempt. Opportunity there comes off the boards. Vetrano looking to come up with the puck. Instead, it's Lafreniere. It'll be a shot from Strome, and it's blocked in front. And now Lafreniere in the near side corner has the puck yet again, left there by Vetrano for a second, and it'll come all the way up and out of the zone back to Vetrano, who will play this one ahead. And here come the Rangers with a chance. A little bit of numbers here, dumping it off. Fox, a shot, and scores! Adam Fox on the dump pass from Alexis Lafreniere scores the tie-breaking goal and gives the Rangers the 75% chance to win Game 7 on a dagger right there. A beautiful shot from the high slot that gets the job done. A shot that, no doubt about it right there, from Adam Fox, who just walks in and wires it on the feed from Alexis Lafreniere. A dump off by Strome, and then the backhand pass, and walks in and wires it home. And what a play there. And what a play by Strome across to Lafreniere, who just no dish look. Backhand over to Fox, who puts it home and away. As it's a 1-0 lead for the New York Rangers here early in Game 7. 16-13 to go in this first period. Zibanejad in on the forecheck again. Now the Rangers hungry for goal number 2. Team scoring first, as mentioned, have a 75% chance to win Game 7. Fifth straight game with a goal on the power play shot from the Hurricanes. Fired up off the bodies and up and out of play. A chance there for the Hurricanes to tie that one with Shesterkin down and out, but it hits somebody in front and went out of play. But look at Adam Fox tracking in all the way there and just head up the whole way, and away he goes. Snipe show home. Glove side on Raanta. A clean puck through the lanes, and it sees nobody in front and goes all the way back in the net. It wasn't Strome that got the assist. It was Kopp that got the assist wearing number 18. Old Oilers habits die hard. As the Hurricanes win the ensuing face-off, they'll go back behind the Rangers net, and now the Hurricanes give chase. 2 men in on the corner against the Rangers defense. Looks like there was a high stick missed by the officials, and everybody's screaming, but the back referee got it. So the Carolina Hurricanes will head to the power play, my friends, here in Game 7, their first power play of the Game 7. So a high stick whistled against the New York Rangers with 15:42 to go. Jacob Trouba takes the penalty call, as it was a great effort by the Hurricanes to get in on the forecheck, and Trouba ends up taking a bad penalty in a bad spot. And now the Carolina Hurricanes have their chance to tie this game on the power play and get going. This one ready and won back by the Rangers, but immediately turned over to the Hurricanes, who possess it right in front of the Rangers net. They work it back all the way to the high point, middle of the zone. Now onto the far side, half wall, back to the point, and now the Rangers kind of chasing around looking for this puck as the Hurricanes walk the line at the top of their zone. D'Angelo wires a shot. It goes off the backboards. down in front and into the far side corner, worked back to Trocheck. Trocheck will look for this puck, go across to D'Angelo. He'll wire it across to Trocheck, back feeds, and back to D'Angelo in the middle of the ice in the Rangers zone. He'll skate around, wind up the one-timer, shot comes, and it goes wide of the net and back to the blue line yet again. Here's D'Angelo with it at the far side, walking the dot, coming back off the face-off circle. Now the Carolina Hurricanes again possess at the top of the zone. The shot wired, goes into the corner, doesn't bounce off glass, so this one's going to come up and out of play. And it looks like they may whistle down puck over glass, but the refs don't react the same way as the fans did. So we'll have a whistle there that'll just be a stoppage in play, more or less, here with a minute 04 to go in the Carolina power play. And Jarvis just wires one, but just misses it wide on the far side post. Hit the post crossbar 8 times this series as Carolina. They've had some misfortune, that is for sure, in this series. If you've hit the post or crossbar that many times within the first 6 games when it matters most in a playoff series in the Stanley Cup playoffs, as the Hurricanes win this face-off. Another shot blocked in front. And with 55 seconds, Zibanejad is going to carry it out. He's going to fire it down. And it's going to be worked there by Mott, who's out there penalty killing. A lot of great years spent penalty killing for the Vancouver Canucks. Now out there doing it for the New York Rangers in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Second round, game 7, when it matters for all the dice to move on and face Tampa. A chance here for the Hurricanes, who will set up the attack here on this power play. Working there and worked off the half wall, now into the middle of the ice. Far side half wall now, back to the point. Slavin's got the puck. He's looking to do some damage. Instead, it'll be wound to Kotkaniemi, and a shot tip pass and goes wide of the net, and a stick slashed out of somebody's hands, picked up quick. And the Hurricanes continue to possess the puck. Slavin will pick it across the blue line. Now across to Nakis. Nakis across. Oh, man. Svechnikov, backdoor, just missed a tap-in gimme one-timer. Full strength now with 13:40 to go in the first period as the Rangers lead 1-0 between the Rangers and Hurricanes in Game 7. The Hurricanes see this puck after the pressure, exit the zone, and now back behind their own net are the Hurricanes, who will look to see what they can set up in behind their own net and work up the ice. And there's going to be a tip play into the neutral zone. It's going to be fed ahead, and here's a chance for Jordan Staal on the backhand. Couldn't cash it across, and it'll be dumped back down below the line, where Staal will have it behind the Rangers net. Rangers looking to get this one out from behind their own net. Shot wired, and a huge save. No blank shot there from Shesterkin, who gets the job done. And now Staal will turn it over, and the Rangers will start back the other way. See, this would be much easier with a color guy, but however, it is just what it is it'll be worked out, and the Hurricanes again fire it down into the Rangers zone. And ever since the Rangers scored that goal, yes, they got the power play to the Canes, but it's been all Rangers ever since. They've been after the puck all this time and getting the job done as much as they possibly can to try and tie this game up here in Game 7. My friends, we are currently sitting at a 3-minute, 17-second average view duration on the stream. Thank you so much for hanging out and tuning in with us here on Clemhawks this evening, trying to get my man Clem back in the good books of YouTube, back in the monetized state. And here we go, face off to the right of Ronta, and it will be won back by the Hurricanes, who again continue to throw the beat down on the Rangers here after that 1-0 goal. And it'll be another icing call against the Hurricanes, and now all of a sudden they've found themselves in a little bit of hot water. Gerard Gallant looking to get going. 7-1 are the Rangers in their last 8 Game 7s. Carolina has won 6 straight Game 7s, tied for the longest streak in playoff history. So all kinds of playoff records falling and being made this season in the NHL playoffs. I think the Oilers playoff series against the Flames had the most playoff series records ever recorded in one series, and that was something in and of itself. There's an injured Carolina Hurricane in behind the play. It's 3-on-3 developing for the Rangers. A shot, rebound, saved by Ronta, and a penalty. Oh, too many men against Carolina coming up here on this play. So a man lost his blade, but they're going to whistle him down for the too many men. And something's wrong with the player behind the bench. They've whistled down the play. And Seth Jarvis is being helped off the bench now. This one he collides and absolutely got bodied up, so I can see why they're concerned about him. He got bodied hard. And we will go to commercial break with just a few minutes gone in this first period. It's been a stellar first period from both teams. Of course, right, the Rangers got the power play goal early to win the battle of the first goal, and now all of a sudden Carolina responded but takes a penalty late for too many men, and that should make things interesting down the stretch here as we go in this first period, a penalty-filled first period now. They've got 3 within the first 8 minutes of this first period. Ooh, excuse me. But it's Adam Fox with his 5th goal of the playoffs from Alexis Lafreniere and Andrew Kopp. It'll be a too many men penalty against the Carolina Hurricanes that will result in our stoppage of play here. And we'll get things rolling into this commercial break where we're just waiting for this team to decide what we're going to do, whether the Rangers are going to go out there and score a second power play goal, or whether the Rangers are going to go out there and see if they can't just continue to build some momentum and continue to take the time off the clock and make sure for certain the Carolina Hurricanes are well up on out of this game. And a reminder, if you're enjoying the play-by-play call here on Clemhawks today, to come over to Dolly TV tomorrow and join me for the playoff live stream between the Colorado Avalanche and the Edmonton Oilers tomorrow. It would be my pleasure to have you along for what will be a great game, that is for sure. There we go. That. And what do we got? All right. Here we go. 2 minutes to go for the New York Rangers on this power play that will get underway in a matter of minutes or seconds or whatever. We got a story from one of the ESPN reporters, and here we go. The Rangers have won the ensuing faceoff to start this power play. The shot blocked. It'll come across to a wired shot from the Rangers. Wild, whistled wide. And now another shot there, tipped in front and scores. I don't know if that's Kreider or Zibanejad who gets credit for that one. I think Kreider had the stick down to try and score it on the tip. But it's Zibanejad absolutely laser beaming one from no man's land, like the last couple of goals I've watched in the live streams have been. And that is a fantastic opportunity to put this one to bed early if you're the New York Rangers. They get the job going early and get their too many men penalty on the board for the Hurricanes, and then capitalize promptly with a goal right there. 2-0 for the Rangers. And look at that shot. It deflects off a Kreider 100%. Absolutely. What a tip from Chris Kreider to the back of the net. Ronta stood no chance, my friend. And Chris Kreider gets his 2nd goal of the series after having a 50-goal season, and a stop on the next play from Igor Shesterkin. Just phenomenal stop right there. And if you aren't a New York Rangers fan right now, I think you're doing it wrong. Sorry, Canes fans. Again, this is coming from an Oilers fan, so keep that in mind. But here's a shot. Comes up and over to play off the body of Trouba, or else the body of Shesterkin. But a fantastic power play effort there from the Rangers, who just wired a couple of shots on net. And the stop by Shesterkin to follow it up after scoring the 2-0 goal off the tippity-tip of the pads to keep that puck out. What a play there by Shesterkin. And now we go on to see what happens here on this next play. This has been some good action throughout this game so far, and hopefully it continues here in Game 7. Never disappoints. 4 wins when facing elimination. 2nd in Rangers history to none other than the king himself, Henrik Lundqvist, who has 16 in his career. So here we go, the face-off to the right of Shesterkin. One back by the Hurricanes, who will see this puck come in off the wing and down low, and a shot pass, nothing happening, and a couple of jammed away opportunities for Martinook and Kotkaniemi. But it ends up being another save for Shesterkin, and then a pile up in front as Gaudreau gets right in the grill of somebody, tells him what's up. And that is where we're going. This game is going to get into it early, and I think that's what the Hurricanes need, is some emotion in their game to try and get this one tied. and the block in front, and all alone in front of the net was Chris Kreider to put that one home on the deflection. Zibanejad had him pegged, no problem, back of the net. 11:29 to go here in this first period. Zibanejad will draw in for the face-off against Kotkaniemi. They'll reset the face-off and get this one ready to go here as it's one back and tipped up and over the everybody at the blue line, and away it goes back the other way. The Rangers are right again back on the attack in the Hurricane zone. It'll be back by down low below the board, below the line there, and then flipped off the boards by the Canes out to center where the Rangers regroup, and it'll go back to Antti Ranta, who backhands it there to a defenseman, tipped up ahead off a stick of a falling Ranger and back into Rangers territory, played ahead by the Hurricanes, and that will be a whistle somewhere on the play and an interference call coming up against, I think, the Carolina Hurricanes, or is it against the New York Rangers? It's again against the Rangers. So back and forth with the power plays we go, as the Hurricanes will take an interference call, or get an interference call against Ryan Reeves, and that'll allow them to go to the power play yet again. And yeah, Reeves absolutely dummies a guy into the boards. That will be a penalty all day, I guess, in the playoffs nowadays. Give that in the 80s, and that would have been enough to just bruise him a little bit, right? Hurricanes power play 0 for 1 and 1 for 15 in the series. If the Hurricanes don't win this series, that's right where you lay the blame, is their power play has stunk. 1 for 15 is not going to get the job done in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Remember, most of the time, it's won or lost on special teams, and the Hurricanes have been losing mightily on special teams in the series. They're across the Rangers' blue line on this power play, however, with 1:44 to go, and looking for a very important 2-1 goal. Shesterkin, though, on the shot from the point that waffled through, makes the save and holds on as Nakis can't get it to go and beat the young goaltender who have record so far for the New York Rangers in these Stanley Cup playoffs. He has been phenomenal. First 4 games of the playoffs, he had a .426 goals against average and a .905 save percentage. It's been lights out ever since, and he's looking to keep it that way here in Game 7, and there's been some very decisive Game 7 goaltending from a lot of teams involved in Game 7 so far. You think about that Dallas, you think about that Calgary series, you think about that Edmonton LA series, you think about that Game 7 series between the Leafs and, shot there from the point, almost goes in, but another save for Shesterkin. You think about that series between the Leafs and Tampa Bay. Obviously the Rangers and Penguins, the Boston Bruins and the Carolina Hurricanes. There's been a lot of great goaltending and a lot of teams involved because of it, as the shot will go into the zone around the boards, and that'll allow the Hurricanes now, with the odd man on the ice, to begin the attack and set things up. A shot wired, glove save, Shesterkin, no doubt about it, to keep that puck out of the net. And it's been a fantastic gem of a game from the goaltender Shesterkin for the Rangers so far. And this one is just a mint save, the glove save there in time, no doubt about it, to get the job done and deny the Hurricanes another chance to score their first goal of the game here in Game 7, looking to come back from down 2-0. This puck's around the boards, flipped out and into the middle of the ice. It'll be battled off at the blue line, and they will rule it an offside right there. So we've got ourselves a 2-0 game with a 42-second power play left for the Carolina Hurricanes as they pile up along the boards. All right. Zibanejad in there. Gaudreau in there. A lot of names on the ice for both teams right now, looking for some offense. Kotkaniemi, however, wins the face-off back, and that'll be snapped in by the Hurricanes, who look to get things going here. They can't, as they can't knock it down at the Rangers' blue line, and instead it'll be carried in by Slavin, who will look for an option and feed off, and that'll allow the Hurricanes to go along the end boards and try to come up with possession here, but it's again tipped out by the Rangers, who are doing a fantastic job penalty killing so far here in Game 7. Kotkaniemi will carry in. He's denied and turned back, and this one will be flipped into the neutral ice, and the Rangers looking to come up with it. Tyler Mott does. He's got an opportunity. He's going to shoot and save by Ronta as time expires on the Hurricanes power play, and back the other way come the Canes yet again. Out of the reach of Kotkaniemi, but he's got it in stride now. That pass just more so just let him off the boards. It'll be battled down below, and this one will be turned back front of the net, and away the Rangers go with an opportunity to get out of the zone, but the Hurricanes keep them hemmed in. A shot missed the net, and now it's back around in the near far side corner, and this one's going to be moved back down to the half wall on the far side, then finally chipped out by the Rangers, and they're still in pursuit and battling for this one is Reeves back behind the net. He can't come up with it. 10-5 the shots for the Hurricanes so far midway through this first period. This one back in, and the Rangers will play it across, work it up the ice, and flip it into Canes territory. A chance to tip in front. Lafreniere could not get it on the goalie though, and that will go on by. Another opportunity missed there for the Rangers to take a 3-0 lead. Ronta out to play it. He gets it off the boards just in the nick of time. Doesn't hit anyone dangerous. And the Rangers turn over the puck yet again. Here's another opportunity as it bobbles in front. Looking for it is Kakko, and he can't get it going. And that will be down the ice and all the way along the far side boards. Flipped into the neutral. And that will be played there by Shesterkin, who settles it down for Miller. Miller will see it go up the boards and out of the zone for the Rangers, who try to chip it across to an area. Nobody's home, so back into the neutral we go, where the Rangers will leave it now for Zibanejad, who goes across. One-timer from Panarin denied. He couldn't refire on the backhand one-timer. And now Zibanejad cycling all the way around, looking a million miles faster than any player on the ice right now. Panarin will see this one get past him, and it'll be fired in by the Rangers, who dump it all the way down to Ronta. Ronta looking to just steady Eddie this one. The Rangers only 6 shots but 2 goals in this Game 7 so far. Remember, the first team to score a goal in the playoffs in Game 7 in history of the Stanley Cup playoffs is 75% of the time the winner of Game 7, and the Rangers have not only scored first, but they've scored twice. And a shot from the Hurricanes in the Rangers zone, blocked in front. They come back up with it, do the Canes. The shot across again, blocked there, and that one hurt Tyler Mott, but he's steady Eddie and up and out of the zone and chasing it down the ice for a second before going off for a line change. And back out the offensive zone time for the Canes. Absolutely incredible. Almost 5 minutes now have the Canes possessed the puck in the Rangers zone. This one's going to be back around the boards. Trube is going to come up with it and flip it up and into the neutral. It'll get past mostly everybody, but collected at the Canes blue line by a defender. And now turned back, and the Hurricanes will set up the shot, rebound, and another attempt again. Shot and blocked in front. Kotkaniemi will go along the boards. Niederreiter there. He's got the puck and he's working it hard. He'll see it come back to the point, and it'll be on the half wall near side before the Rangers turn it over, and Kreider plays it ahead. Right on after a deflection onto the stick of Ronta, who moved it to the side. 5:34 to go here in this first period. 12-6 the shots. Shot save from Shesterkin. Man, some good action so far in this game, that's for sure. My friends, we've been getting a treat so far. Alright, take a quick pause for the cause and see what we can come up with. It's 140 divided by 60 times 7. Alright, so far, 1.4 hours watched here on the stream. Thanks to everybody tuning in so far. I know it's not the big streams you see everywhere else, but Clemhawks also is not a channel known for its hockey. Let me tell you that much. Clemhawks is not a hockey channel by any stretch of the imagination. But I'm here just trying to help my man Clem any way I can. You can see there's a couple of videos yesterday's stream that I did for the IIHF World Championships there for you to check out if you want. And of course there's also Clem's video from today if you want to go check that out at the same time and go support Clem and get to know him a little bit as we go along. Clem, a major, I tell you, major Minnesota sports fan, and He covers the Twins quite often for us here on Clemhawks, making sure everything's good and hunky-dory with the Minnesota Twins on their quest to get back into the postseason in 2022. Alright, so what else do we know? We have a chance here to quickly recap the stream so far, and if you haven't, maybe we want to quickly check out the Colorado Avalanche video that I had a chance to do for Clem the other day. Like I said, hockey's become a theme here on Clemhawks the past couple of days based on the fact of we've been doing a lot more videos for Clem, trying to get him really grinded up as Avs beat Blues reaction. Boom, and there you go. That's that. That's what you need to know. And there you go. There is the link to watch that video if you're interested in that as we near the intermission. We're coming up close to the end of this first period with 5:26 to go, my friends. And here we go. Face off to the right of Shesterkin as we'll get this puck back down into play, and away we'll go with another face-off win for the Rangers. They'll fire it up and off the boards. It'll be all the way down into the Carolina end. 5:18 to go in a 2-0 lead for the Carolina Hurricanes, and this one's going to be carried ahead. Stahl's going to play it forward in behind the goal line of the Rangers. Zibanejad in there, able to get it back on the back check, and now out of the zone and played down into the Rangers' offensive territory as a fanned pass. And my goodness, my TV's lagging out bad, screwing with my eyeballs. Forgive me a second. The Rangers, however, have it in the offensive zone. They're looking to come up with this puck. Zibanejad gets stapled in behind the net, but it's picked up there by Vetrano. Vetrano looks for an option, gets one there. A shot fired onto the save. Bobbles out of the glove momentarily, but he makes it and holds onto it just in time to prevent any further damage here in this first period for the Canes. And here's a chance here. As Trouba they're going to show the hit on Jarvis. That was a mammoth of a collision. And Trouba so far in the playoffs, 53 hits and 26 block shots. The only player with 40 and 20 through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, and he gets still another little bit to add to it yet here in these Stanley Cup playoffs. This puck's going to go back behind the net for the Rangers, who have it in the offensive zone. Kako's got it, and he's going to play it all the way around the boards, and it's going to be dumped left there, near side corner for the Rangers, still with the puck in the offensive zone. Lafreniere is going to fire the shot. Lindgren the rebound, and he just missed that one wide. I thought he'd scored it. I thought he'd gotten the job done, but he doesn't get the 3-0 goal. And it's all the way down the ice against the Hurricanes for an icing call. And that one could have been drama there. The Rangers running away with it early had they scored that 3-0 goal. The Avalanche and Oilers, game number 1 tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern or 6 p.m. Mountain, whatever you prefer. And the Canes and Lightning, or the Rangers and Lightning, potentially at 6 p.m. on Wednesday night. As we are rocking and we are rolling through this live stream, folks, forgive me if I start getting garbled. It is about that time where I've already spoke too much, and we are almost through a period of hockey where my brain starts letting go a little bit here. But the Rangers still with offensive zone time within the Carolina end, coming up with the puck. It's Panarin shooting and firing, and a tip in front, can't score the goal. Now Strome with it. I forgot he wears 16, not 18 in Carolina, and a shot denied there off to Kopp. Kopp denied on the tight ends, and that's a goalie who's been practicing in the butterfly in the crease during warm-up. Let me tell you, a couple of huge saves there by Antti Ranta. Even though it results in an icing call against the Carolina Hurricanes, he doesn't much care. He weathered the storm and got the job done for the Hurricanes, and we'll have ourselves a face-off in the zone. That is some great goaltending there from Ranta. No look saves essentially to keep this one 2-0 after giving up 2 goals early and on lesser shots than the Canes have themselves. 3:29 to go in this first period. The Rangers trying to get this job done here as it's going to be flipped out, and the Hurricanes will come up with the puck. Nakis the shot, and it's a pad save from Mr. Igor Shesterkin, who has been steady Eddie in this hockey game so far. It's fired into the neutral by the Rangers. The Canes, however, turn it back the other way. Aho in on the attack. He's going to chip this one up off the boards and try to get it to an open Kane. And it's going to go off of a stick and onto Adam Fox, who's able to get it across to his partner. And the Rangers are able to get it up and out of the zone off of a Hurricane body. And it'll be tipped ahead by the stick there of the Canes, and it'll be back now, worked by the Canes, who will come across the blue line, fired there, and a chance here for Svechnikov, who just can't muscle his way through, and Trouba will take exception at the poke towards the goaltender, and that will hold things down here with a 2-0 lead for the Rangers late in this first period in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's been a good first period. I've quite enjoyed it. I've enjoyed every second of this. It's been a solid little stream so far. Thanks again to everybody for tuning in to the live stream so far. Really appreciate everybody's support here on Clemhawks. Something we don't do very often is the hockey on Clemhawks. So it's my pleasure to have you along to call this one for sure. And let's just see what I can come up with here, as we are currently at 102 minutes. So 1.7 hours streamed so far on this live stream, as we're a hour and 10 minutes into the stream. That is good times. Because Clem, there's sometimes we're barely getting by and not even getting a minute per minute. So we're rocking, we're rolling here today. And of course, everything else on Clemhawks has been cruising along today, making some impactful views as well. So thank you to everybody tuning in and tuning into anything else from Clem so far today. Clem and myself here on Clemhawks. All right, let's see what else I can fill you in on. If there's any more information to be gleaned from the score box, as it was Kreider from Zibanejad and Fox. So Adam Fox, 18 points now on this campaign in the playoffs. Would be a shame to see him go out, that is for sure. And the box score so far from both goaltenders, it is Shesterkin so far with a great little save percentage, that is for sure. He's been doing solid. And then who else got this going? Let's see. The Canes. Antti Raanta, 2 goals against, 8 saves, 10 shots against, a .8 save percentage. And for Igor Shesterkin, 15 shots, 15 saves, and he's been solid. So for the Hurricanes and Rangers, not really a physical first period. 6 hits for the Canes, 4 for the Rangers, but the face-offs heavily favoring Carolina, 13-8 so far. And the Oilers and Avalanche, once again, reminder, will face each other tomorrow at 6 p.m. live on Dolby TV, where I'll have the call for you yet again for another playoff matchup here in the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. This one tipped ahead by Niederreiter into the Rangers zone. 2-0 the Rangers lead, as it'll be a chance here for Carolina. They're setting up an attack, dishing it across, and a great defensive play by Trouba to break up what would have been the 2-1 goal on the backdoor pass. The Rangers don't see it leave the zone, but a nice turnover there for the Rangers. Wherewithal from Kreider to slow down and come up with that puck is enough to get the puck down the ice, and now Raanta will see it on the backhand. Go off to a defenseman there, D'Angelo, who will survey the situation with less than 2 minutes remaining in this first period. It'll be moved out by Aho, who will carry up the ice, all kinds of speed, cutting through the zone, cuts back, and here's an opportunity, shot fired. Shesterkin the save, the puck comes free. No whistle there, everybody in the crowd upset with that. It's a save by Shea at the blue line, who keeps it alive for a brief moment. Now a shot coming in, blocked in front again, and a shot behind. Shesterkin's lost his goal stick, and I have no clue where that puck is, nor does the referee. Everybody's down on it in front of the crease, and Shesterkin is just going to lay there and hold on with the puck underneath his pad, and he's looking all kinds of, wow, absolutely rattled after that puck just bounced around his crease, and that one was a weird hop out of him, right? No freeze there. The puck bounced down, and they keep going. He's down and out on the ice. And then this one right here, a chance where he just blows a tire, and then a couple of players end up on his legs, and that is the end-all be-all of that play as the whistle goes down, and Shesterkin ends up making the save. A stick somehow comes flying through, and that play was as broken as plays can get in the NHL. However, Shesterkin is 17th save of this first period in Game 7 to keep this game going for the New York Rangers is going to be flipped and then batted by a high stick back into the Rangers' end. Shesterkin's going to wire it and play it all the way down to Shea, who's got it at the blue line. It'll be chipped up a note by the Rangers into the bench, so we'll have a stoppage in play yet again with 1:14 to go in this first period. What a first period it's been that sees the New York Rangers leading 1-0 here, or 2-0 after almost 1 period to play. The face-off at center ice, Trocheck wins it back. They played off a Kane stick in behind the Rangers goal. A forecheck there will take out a man and maybe force a turnover for the Hurricanes, but it's Reeves playing it ahead, and he's got a step for a second, and now may take a hooking call here or a slashing call as he's going to finish his check. And this one will be played down along the end boards of the Kane zone, and the Hurricanes are going to see that battle. One there again, and what a play by the Hurricanes to keep that puck out of the danger ice for the Rangers. And here's a chance, 2-on-1 for the Canes. They're going to feed this one in front. It's off the back of the net. The Rangers with 35 seconds are going to chip it up and out of play off the boards. And Trouba, an unforced error there, would have liked to start a breakout, that's for sure, but he doesn't quite get it out of the zone, so it'll be a chance here. And Seth Jarvis is still being evaluated for the Carolina Hurricanes in this game after getting rocked by Jacob Trouba, so that's something to keep an eye on as Seth Jarvis gets absolutely blown up. Shoulder to head contact. Jarvis kind of leaned into it a little bit, but I mean Trouba also exploded up through the head, so there's a whole bunch to be made of that. No penalty on the play as Trouba plays up off the boards, and the Carolina Hurricanes will see that one come out of the zone. And now here come the Rangers. A shot saved by Ronta and blocked down in 13 seconds to go in this first period, and back the other way it comes. And off the boards and out back into the Rangers' end. And this one will be tied up there briefly for a minute, and Stahl will see that come to an end. And my friends, that'll do it for the first period, and I'm sorry, I don't know if I got the legs to go. I am hungry, I am cold, and I think that's going to do it all for me. Thanks so much for tuning in. First period to play up and over, and I'm going to save my lungs for tomorrow when the Oilers face the Colorado Avalanche in game number 1.